250 pounds of undefeated muscle hits the canvas, completely unconscious, and it only took a single punch to put him there. The crowd watching is dead silent. They are staring at the man who delivered that strike, the same man who, a decade earlier, was the most mocked kid in this very town. A physical weakling generated enough force to fell a giant. The physics behind that punch explain exactly how he did it. At 16 years old, Ethan weighed barely 100 pounds. His peers called him a mosquito, claiming his punches felt like high fives. In his hometown of Red Creek, fighting was everything. The local philosophy held that power came entirely from physical size and genetic gifts. During a local tournament, Ethan was knocked out in 10 seconds flat. Humiliated, he packed his bags and hiked deep into the mountains, searching for an old legendary fighter named Victor. He went looking for a magical shortcut, eventually discovering that elite striking power is a product of pure mechanics. Master Victor took Ethan in, but he instituted a strange rule. Ethan was completely forbidden from throwing a single punch. He was assigned grueling manual labor instead. For 3 years, his days consisted of carrying water, splitting wood, and hauling heavy carts up steep mountain inclines. This silhouette illustrates kinetic linking. The energy pulse starts at the feet, travels up the legs, twists through the hips, and releases through the arm. Upper body strength is secondary. Rotating your hips creates a mechanical lever that amplifies energy before it reaches the shoulder. Through these repetitive chores, Victor built a biomechanical engine, training Ethan's lower body to maximize force transfer from the ground up. Only after 3 years did Victor allow Ethan to strike, but there were no opponents, only millions of isolated, highly controlled repetitions. This neural pathway shows a glowing electrical signal traveling slowly down a bare nerve fiber. Endless repetition triggers neural plasticity. The nervous system coats these pathways in insulating myelin. Once insulated, the signal shoots across the nerve instantaneously. Millions of repetitions forced Ethan's brain to wrap his striking pathways in thick myelin. His punch transitioned from a conscious, clunky effort into a perfectly optimized unconscious reflex. Technical perfection comes from physically rewiring the brain over several years, a process that removes all neurological friction. For the final 3 years, Victor issued his most brutal instruction. Ethan had to strike the stone-hard bark of an ancient oak tree, bare-knuckled. This microscopic view of standard bone tissue experiencing physical impact illustrates Wolff's Law. Bones remodel themselves based on stress. Hitting the tree caused constant microfractures. To protect itself, the body heals by laying down calcium, filling porous gaps, making the bones significantly denser. Eventually, the bark on the ancient oak tree cracked and fell away. Ethan's hands had literally calcified into biological stone. He had weaponized biological adaptation, forcing his own skeleton to remodel itself into a blunt instrument. 10 years later, Ethan stepped into the ring against Mason Steele, the 250-pound champion. The townspeople mocked him just as they had a decade prior. Ethan ignores the noise. He waits for his opening, and then he plants his foot. That insulated neural pathway fires instantly. The kinetic chain transfers energy from the dirt through his hips and drives a calcified fist straight into Mason's jaw. That devastating one-punch knockout arrived as the inescapable mathematical sum of 10 years of applied physics and biology. In the aftermath, scientists and reporters swarmed Ethan. They studied his strength and begged him to reveal his secret. Ethan gave the same answer to everyone. There is no secret. There is only practice. Local children still tell exaggerated stories about a magical punch that could shake the ground. Instead, they learned the truth. Power isn't built in a day. It's built through thousands of small efforts repeated for years. Talent might determine where you start your journey, but world-shocking greatness is the compounding interest of unglamorous discipline, patience, and structural adaptation over time.